So today, March 6th, 2026. So today, let's discuss about Chankamana, walking meditation in Mahasatipatthana Sutta in the session of Kayanupassana. The Buddha advised to note and know whenever going. One should note and know that I am going. So this going from one place to another place, walking. So whenever we walk, we should know that we are walking. And in the meditation retreats, in the schedule, there is a time for the walking meditation. So walking meditation is also very important as sitting meditation in order to develop mindfulness, concentration, and wisdom. The Pali word Chankamana is used for this walking. Chankamana has the meaning of going back and forth. Therefore, when we do walking meditation, we do this walking meditation in one place, back and forth, back and forth. Other time when we move from one place to another place, like from Dhamma hall to rooms or dining hall, at that time too we have to walk mindfully. But in the schedule there is a time for walking meditation. Then to do that walking meditation, we have to choose a place. So in order to gain some concentration from walking meditation, in order to have a very smooth walking, we need to choose a place which is free of 5 kinds of fault. So we need to choose a faultless place. So what are these 5 kinds of fault of the walking place? The first one is the very rough, rocky, stony place. That type of place is not good for walking. Uneven place. If we walk on this rocky and stony, uneven place, we may get injuries, we may have some accidents, and because the place is not smooth, we cannot walk properly because that place is not very smooth. And therefore, we should avoid that type of place to do walking. And if we walk on the uneven road, uneven place, we cannot develop a strong mindfulness. Even the practice, the strong concentration, even the concentration that we have already developed may be destroyed. Therefore, we have to avoid that type of uneven place for the walking meditation. If the place is very smooth and even, then we will have a very smooth walking, and we could develop concentration very easily. Therefore, the first fault of the walking place, walking area, is a bumpy or stony place, uneven place. And we should avoid that type of place for the walking when we really want to gain concentration from that walking meditation. And the second fault of the walking is having trees in that walking area, in that walking road. And we also should avoid that type of place. In that walking place, if there are trees on the way, on the road, then sometimes when we lose mindfulness, we may hit onto the tree. We may hit accidentally onto the tree. And therefore, that type of walking place should be avoided. And the third fault is the third fault is the walking place where there are lots of long grasses or bushes. If we walk on that area, on that place, especially when there is no light, when there is dark, we might step on the poisonous beings like snakes, and the snakes may bite us, or we may die bitten by the snakes. Therefore, that type of unclear place, that type of place with lots of bushes and grasses need to be avoided. And another fault of that walking area is too narrow. If we walk on a too narrow place, sometimes we may slip, we may fall down, because too narrow, we may not have enough place to walk, to keep our body in balance. We may slip off from that place. Therefore, that type of too narrow place also need to avoid. And too narrow place means not wide place. It is too narrow, about maybe 18 inch or less than that. So that type of too narrow place also not good for the walking meditation. And again, the fifth one is the too wide place. If it is too narrow, that is also not good. It can, that narrow area, there is a high risk of casualties. But if that area is too big, too wide, that is also not good for the walking meditation. So therefore, when we do walking meditation, we don't choose the too long space to do walking meditation, because the noting mind, if the area is too wide, the mind runs here and there. And it is difficult to keep the mind on the object. It is difficult to gain the concentration if the place is too wide. Therefore, for the walking meditation, we have to choose the place which is free of these 5 kinds of faults. And that is the very, if we can choose that type of place for the walking, we can develop concentration very easily. That type of place is very conducive for the meditation. That's what explained in the text. But here we have a very smooth place for walking meditation, so we don't need to worry about that. And the Buddha in Satipatthana Sutta mentioned that when we are going, we have to know that going. Means when we are walking, we have to know that walking. So why we need to know that walking? Everyone knows when they walk that they are walking. Even the animals know when they walk. So why we need to know walking as a walking? When we say we know when we are walking, everyone knows when they're walking. We know, but we don't know in correct way. We know wrongly. We know, oh, I am walking. That the one walking is I or we. The one walking is a person, a being. We don't see the very true nature, that we don't see the truth while walking. We only think that I am walking, which is not correct. So, though we say we know walking, that walking is not according to the Satipatthana Bhavana. Therefore, there is no mindfulness present in that type of knowing. Therefore, the Buddha said, we should know that walking in correct way, being mindful. And this type of walking is happening, this type of walking occurs because of the intention to walk. If there is no intention, no wanting mind, then the walking does not take place. There is an intention, wanting mind, and that wanting mind creates air. While that intention creates air element, and that air spreads all over the body, and then the walking takes place. So though we think when we are walking it's happening automatically, we just walk. But actually it is not like that. There is an intention, there is a wanting mind, and that wanting mind creates air, and that air spreads all over the body, and then the body starts to move forward or backward. So this type of natures should be known. But if we are not mindful, then because we didn't see this type of true natures, then we think that, oh, I am walking, the walking is happening by itself. Automatically, the walking takes place. Therefore, in Satipatthana Vipassana retreat, walking meditation should be done very carefully. We should note every steps very carefully, very mindfully, very precisely. Then only we come to see the natures of the walking. And here in this retreat, we are practicing as guided by Venerable Mahasi Sayadaw. In walking, we do the 3 phases of walking. The first is the one, stepping, or right, left. And when we do that right and left, or stepping, we focus on the legs. We send our noting mind to the steps so that we can see the natures occurring in the legs. But the first step, right and left, or stepping, that right and left, it is very rough. It is very rough, so the concentration we gain in that first phase is also very rough concentration, not a deep concentration. But it is still very good because the mind is focused on the legs The mind not wandering here and there, not running here and there. And when we are mindful on that steps, we are preventing the unwholesome mental states from occurring. But that is not enough. So we have to do the second phase also, lifting and placing in each steps. And two notings in one step. Then we cannot do this second phase of walking and fast. We have to do it slowly. If we just lift, place in quick manner, we cannot see anything. There may be just a noting, just a labeling, lifting and placing, lifting and placing. We will not see any true natures occurring at that moment. Therefore, the second phase of the walking should be done slowly. Lifting from the very beginning till the end. As soon as the heel starts to lift, starts to move, we should focus from that very moment until the lifting ends. So the whole process we should be able to follow. And same goes to placing. As soon as the leg starts to drop down until it touches the floor and press the ground, press the floor. So that whole process is placing. And we should follow from that very beginning till the end. And this second phase of walking, because we are doing very mindfully, very slowly, we can see the natures occurring at that moment clearly. And we also develop a very good concentration. So the concentration gain in the second phase of walking is better than the concentration gain in the first phase of walking. And again, only doing first and second phase of walking is not enough. Mahasi Sayadaw instructed to do the third phase of walking too. 3 notings in one step: lifting, moving, and placing. Because there are 3 notings in one step, we even need to do more slowly. We cannot do in fast. We have to do in very slow manner, very carefully, very mindfully. In lifting, from the very beginning, as soon as the heel starts to move, we have to pay our attention. We have to focus until the whole process of lifting comes to end. In moving also, as soon as the leg starts to move forward until it comes to end, we have to follow it very closely. And same goes to dropping. If we can do this lifting, moving, and placing, the three notings in one step very slowly, very closely, we come to know the natures very clearly. So what natures we can see, we can know in this lifting, moving, and placing? According to the text, in lifting, the nature of air element and the fire element are predominant. The nature of fire and air element are powerful than the earth element and the water element. Therefore, sometimes when we lift, we experience lightness, movements, because what air element and fire element are more predominant. But it is not like that every time you will experience that lightness or movement. Sometimes pushing or pulling movement, sometimes lifting up feeling. Sometimes we might experience the heaviness also, so difficult to lift. The leg is so heavy, it's very difficult to lift. Or sometimes we might experience that the leg, though we try to lift, the leg just stick on the floor. But mostly the nature of air element and fire element are predominant during lifting. In moving too, the nature of air element and fire element are predominant. They are more powerful than the other two elements. Therefore, sometimes while moving, if we are very mindful, sometimes we feel that our leg is pushed from behind. Sometimes is pulled from the front. Sometimes very smooth moving, sometimes gliding feeling. And in placing, the placing means as soon as the leg starts to drop, till the when the leg press the floor, that whole process is placing. We place the leg on the floor and not placing. That is not the complete. That is not complete placing. The placing is from the dropping and placing on the floor. So as soon as the leg starts to drop, we have to note it as placing. And in that, during that placing, what elements are more predominant is earth element and the water element are more powerful than the fire element and air element. So sometimes when we note placing, we feel very heavy feeling. Sometimes when we touch the floor, we feel very rough, sometimes very smooth. And other times, sometimes we feel the gravitational force, the pulling force from the ground, and sometimes pressing force. So in walking meditation, if we can do walking very slowly, very mindfully, if we focus our mind on that whole process of walking, especially lifting, moving, and placing, we come to know the natures of four great elements. And then we also come to know that there is the intention, there is the wanting mind. Therefore, the lifting, moving, and placing, because of that wanting mind, the lifting, moving, and placing occurs. We come to know that too. That means who actually going is just the mind and the matter. The intention is the mind, and the four great elements are the matter. There is no I involved in going. There is only mind and matter. We come to know that, and we are knowing correctly. Therefore, the Buddha said, when we are going, we should note and know that we are going. So knowing correctly, knowing as it is. And this, the third phase of walking, lifting, moving, and placing, we have to do it very slowly and very mindfully, very carefully. It's like pushing the cart with a bucket full of water. In the olden days, people need to go somewhere to get water. So they filled up the bucket, and then they put that bucket on the cart and they push it. And in the olden days, the roads are not smooth, bumpy roads. So when pushing a cart on the bumpy road, one cannot push that cart in hurry. One has to push cart very carefully, very mindfully. If one push cart in hurry, then the water on the bucket will spill and he will not get any water when he reaches home. So he has to be very careful and very mindful pushing a cart in bumpy road. So in doing walking meditation too, especially the third phase of walking, we have to walk very mindfully, very carefully, very slowly, so that we can see the very true natures occurring at that moment, and we also gain the very strong concentration, very good concentration. Because in doing, we need that type of strong concentration, good concentration, because it is very conducive to sitting meditation. And that type of concentration in walking meditation is difficult to gain because the body is moving all the time. The legs are moving. So it is not easy to gain a concentration in walking. And also, to do the walking, we have to apply twofold effort, double effort. First, we have to put an effort to move the legs, to step. We have to put effort to lift, to move, and to place. And again, we also have to apply the mental effort to send the mind, or to push the mind on that object of lifting, moving, and placing. If we did not send our mind to that lifting, moving, and placing, the mind will not reach there, and we won't be able to know anything. So in walking meditation, the twofold effort is needed. Therefore, it is not easy to gain concentration in walking meditation. But if we do very carefully, very mindfully, we can develop the concentration very easily, and that concentration we gain is long-lasting. And if we can bring that concentration to the sitting meditation, then the sitting meditation will be very good. Therefore, doing walking meditation very carefully, very mindfully, and very slowly is very conducive to the sitting meditation. If one has done that walking in that way, after that walking meditation, when a yogi comes to do sitting meditation, he experience the big difference. He find the big difference. So doing walking meditation is not just to relax, not just to release the stiffness and tension of the body. Actually, doing walking meditation is, again, to develop mindfulness and concentration and also wisdom. Therefore, Venerable Mahasi Sayadaw emphasized on doing walking meditation too, not only the sitting meditation. Walking meditation is also very important part of this Satipatthana meditation. So if we are mindful in sitting meditation and walking meditation, and also in daily activities, then we will progress in the practice very easily. And in the olden days, the monks in their daily life, they do this walking meditation. In most of the monasteries in olden days, they have a separate area for walking. So sometimes after food, after meal, they first do walking. They do walking. And that walking is not just to release the pain, release the tension. It also helps to digest the food. If we do walking after the meal, it helps to digest the food, and also we develop the very good mindfulness, and also we gain some strength. People who have a habit of doing walking meditation, they don't feel tired when they need to walk. They don't easily feel fatigue when they need to walk. In olden days, because there is no transportation, people need to walk from one place to another. When they travel by foot. So one who has a habit of doing walking, it helps them a lot. In olden days, when monks, they need to go for alms round, they walk very mindfully, especially the monks residing at the forest. When they go for alms round in the village, they are very respectful. They are very respectful to the Dhamma, so they walk very mindfully. The other day, we talk about a monk. When walking, sometimes he forgets to note, then he goes back to the place where he forget his mindfulness, and then again walk from that place. So they are very respectful in walking. Therefore, we, in this type of meditation retreats, especially in Mahasi tradition retreats, the walking meditation is also very important part. And if we keep balance in walking meditation and sitting meditation, then in short time, we see the benefits of the practice. Therefore, may you all be able to do this walking meditation very respectfully. So you gain, you experience the benefits of this walking meditation, the big impact of walking meditation in the practice. And that's all for today.